Welcome to Biomutant. Says they've been waiting for you to help them liberate the outpost. Just keep going while you can and don't stop until all outposts are under your control. Says scouts spotted a moth nest close to the outpost. If you destroy that, the moths should infest the place, looking for a new home. Figures the moths will drive everyone in the outpost nuts. That's when you dive in. Watch out for hidden foes. Just get to it and destroy it. Right between the eyes. Well placed. New days always start with hope. Nice work. No more moth's nest. There go the moths toward the outpost. They're good and mad. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Thinks you did a great job capturing the rival's third outpost and believes the rival is weak enough to engage them at their fort. They all hope you can lead them to peace. The world is waking up with dawn. Says the state of the goo has grossed over time. It's a miracle anything still lives in it. It's hard for all sorts of guppo to breathe while... If it wasn't for Gil, who gives them a good scrub now and then... Figures that... He tries to clean things up to give the guppo a chance. Good to see someone care about a dying world. Figures Gil would appreciate that, and so would the guppo. This is no time for sleep. They've been waiting for you. Taking control of this fort will bring peace between... You better be. A tribe's fort is a bigger challenge than an outpost. They've positioned a storm tower near the fort that you'll use to get over the wall. However, you need to prop up its wheelhouse first to stabilize the situation. Says you don't have to knock to get inside. It's time for an adventure, for good or bad. It's time to set the rival tribe free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to their Sifu. You need to unite the tribes and save the Tree of Life to truly become free. That's a fire starter. The dry grass looks like it would ignite easily. You just need to create a spark to light a fire. It burns brighter than the light. Nice shot. all share the same destiny: destruction or survival. That's a pyro sizzler right there. Just get to work on it. Make it frizzle. Nice crackle. You've been working out. The battering bonker looks like a great way to get through the gate. Bet you just need to knock and it'll open up. That's bonkers. You can't really understand your story till it's done. The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. He didn't expect it would go down this way. It'll be hard to talk your way out of a fight. He needs a logical reason to surrender the fort without a fight. He recognizes the strength of a good argument and agrees it's for the best. He'll surrender the fort to you. The rival Sifu is defeated, and the destiny of their tribe is in your hands. You are free to choose their fate, but not free from the consequences of your choice. He'll leave it up to you to decide the fate of the rival Sifu, but suggests you be merciful. Do good, and good will follow you. Thinks it's a good gesture to offer support to others when you can see that they need it. And with that, you're spinning your own fate, good or bad, never to be undone. Side by side they'll stand until order and stability is reinstituted. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Your Sifu is pleased. You're one step closer to uniting the tribes. It's a pity you needed to use force to get the point across. But he's still concerned about the fate of the world. You can't lose this war. If you get the ending wrong, the effort it took to get there was in vain. A proper ending, however, provides closure. He says you've grown so much stronger than when you first met. You know better than anyone that the fate of the world is still at stake. You need a world where everyone is guided only by their conscience. The fate of the world depends on the triumph of good. The Tree of Life still stands, and it's up to you to make sure it does so to the end. This could be the beginning of the end of everything. It's the Jagni staff. Good for protecting your noggin. Think of the things you could build. Fits nice. The planet keeps spinning, and new days keep coming. says you'll get a special price and a... Time to make a deal. Seemed fair. Hunker down or keep marching on. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Lots of notices on the board for things that made sense in the days when the surf was a lot cleaner. Interesting to see what they cared about here. Wonder if any of it matters now. In the old days, this was a port for boats that went under the surf. They helped. They made a lot of green, which is all they really cared about. You should be able to find a track here. Just need to keep your eyes open. Least there's no parade around for it to rain on. Let's see. Hey, you found the track, even around all this goopy goo. Nothing escapes your googly eye. The surf here looked cleaner when that track was made. It wasn't easy to peer through the surf, but there are iBox tapes on record that shows they knew. Glad you had the patience to learn more about how the surf... Let's see. Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He can't tell you much as he didn't want to hear anything about it. He can't understand how someone could be so vicious, even though he knows there are reasons behind it. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life. He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
Light instantly vanishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like? Hit the open surf then. The trouble is you can only rely on yourself, at least until you reach a new shore and make new friends. Can hardly believe the world is going to make it. Wonders what that's going to do to the goo. Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf. Thinks the Myriad made a good match with you. You're both like sunshine on the surf. Claims he didn't say that out loud. But hey, back to the goo. Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. He can't leave the Subnautica station as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit. So you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff. You're lucky that way. There's still cargo left on the shores from before the apocalypse. His best guess is a power tanker hit a reef and went under. Someone has to end this plague before it's too late. Some of the beasts who live here have never seen day. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Seems like a peculiar item. Running out of daylight. Just a few moves left. Make them count. smart foe would leave now. You can make something from that. The dark can make you miss the day fierce. Whoa, smell that? Biohazard nearby. Up for grabs. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the rain and contaminate both the groundwater and open surf. The long-lasting effect this had on the evolution of wildlife was, as we know now, the only reason we came to exist. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. There's a lot on the line here.
Mukamme. Saluja.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a... There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks. Squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. He'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find quacks. He's not sure, but the quacks are probably a leftover from a cargo surfer that went under in the olden days. The squeaky material must have made them surface when their box broke. Listen to all that night noise. Welcome to the Surfipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. Got a jet? You're poking around Pockbur, a prime village. Smock. That's the good stuff. The tribes need someone to unite them. Let's see. Asks you to check out the wares, confident you'll find everything you need here. Hope it's shopping time. Says the tribe Sifu sent them here to help defend against the rival tribe that's been terrorizing their village. Isn't sure how long the village will last if it continues. As if the plague ruining the land and destroying the crops wasn't enough to bring the village to its knees already. That's what they call the blight that's been haunting the land since the... The Sifu asked you to help, and that's what you must do. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. When a story comes to you, claims to have seen, believes the... Says they'd love to see more of it. There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest. That wood scrap seems like it would be perfect for your plans. Could you help out with the fire beacon? It's gone out. They can't reach the fire beacon to relight it. Says their family has handled that for generations. Their mother was on duty, but she hasn't reported back. Says the fire... Goodbye to another night. Gun it! This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least.
Ja.
Let's see. He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Says it's both everything you could want and never enough. Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, that's the point. But you can't stop trying new ones, or life gets dull. Wants to raise a glass to you getting the world fixed up a bit. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Sees why you joined up with the Myriad. They like a peaceful drink. Says he sells them drinks. They mostly suck them down on their own. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed. It makes most dumber, but that's his special burden to bear. He wants you to know he has other interests too. He's the Surf Archipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately for you, he can help. Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet, says he read that in an old world book. It means you're an expert of all living things that flap and tweet. Gulp tells you to not forget. Let's see. Take fast over fancy any day. Time to jet. The Quack Hollow. It's just lonely. Leave that ride. There's not much. Gonna need a key of some kind. The rain is clean now, but wait till it gets to the goo. Might not need that now, but you will later. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. It moves like a jet. Had enough of that? E-waste, the stuff you need. Ah, see that e-waste? Always handy. See that e-waste? You could use that for sure. That ain't bad. You need to believe how serious this is if you want to have any effect on it. Gulp says he'll bibble anything once, as long as it's drinkalicious, even rocket fuel. He once mixed up some tankers and drank that. It was a real lift-off. That leads him to the bottom of that particular bottle. He's not in a state to go look.
Better isn't the word I would use.
Right, not better. Best.
You're the worst.
The worst of being the worst. We're just the best.
No one can swim this fast. All ashore that's going ashore.